Hello everyone, this is Rob once again with Media Awareness. I hope you're all having a fantastic day or night, depending on when you're watching this video. So, today I'm going to be focusing on three films that I think are worth checking out. And I'm going to be featuring this particular aspect of my channel once a week, highlighting three films that I think are worth your time to check out. Some may have more established actors or maybe more accessible in some cases than others, whereas others may not have anyone that you've ever heard of, but still might be great in their own way. Whether it's the writing, the directing, both, the acting, whatever the case. So, this is the first installment of this series, and I hope you have enjoyed my channel so far. If you haven't seen my other videos, feel free to check out my channel, check out my Patreon page, consider becoming a member. Click the link in the description and contact me on Facebook if you want, and give me some feedback there if you'd like. I'm open to everything and anything. So, let's see what we have here. Today we have films that keep you thinking well after you have watched them. Films that draw you back to watch them again because there's something about it that has an allure of wonder and astonishment, and in some cases, pure and simple curiosity. The first film I'm going to highlight is The Lighthouse, starring William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson. And this is a movie that I had the opportunity to watch in the theater, and it was an amazing experience. And I would not trade that for the world. This is a film, it's a completely shot in black and white. It's a period piece, turn of the century lighthouse keeper, sort of the mythology tropes about lighthouses and what these individuals who are isolated on these plots of land may or may not have experienced, things that they have written in diaries but are hard to believe. And in this particular film, William Dafoe plays a long-time lighthouse keeper, and Robert Pattinson's character is uh, signed on to be his replacement, and he is to be trained first. And I'm not going to give away the entire plots of any of these films, but I'm going to tell you that this is just amazing. You have we live in a time frame right now where the camera, when it comes to films or streaming shows or TV shows, whatever you want to call them, the camera never stops moving for the most part. Yet in the lighthouse, you have these stagnant camera shots, and the actors are the ones that you're focused on, not the movement of the camera. And the actors make the scene come alive with their dialogue, with their interactions. And The Lighthouse is just amazing. It actually proved to me that Pattinson is a phenomenal actor. Um, I know that many people may have seen him recently in the Batman, and he really wasn't, in my opinion, he really wasn't given the opportunity to show off his acting skills in that film. Same goes with the Twilight Saga. He wasn't really able to shine as an actor. In The Lighthouse, however, he is truly at the top of his game. This is amazing. And his acting in The Lighthouse is comparable to that of William Dafoe. And that says a lot. There are some other minor characters who really aren't mentioned. The main cast is Pattinson and Dafoe for the duration of the film. And for two actors to hold your attention for an a movie length presentation, that says a lot about the actors, the script, the direction, everything. It is phenomenal, along with some vintage sounding soundtrack elements that I really appreciated as well, which kind of complement the black and white color scheme or lack thereof color, and it's really just amazing. I can't say enough about The Lighthouse. So, that being said, next on my list is a film that flew under everyone's radar for some reason. Not sure why. Maybe because it's strange. I'm talking, of course, about the what I hope will become a cult classic, Under the Silver Lake. This film stars Andrew Garfield, and it's a really interesting film. I'm a fan of David Lynch's films, so I can appreciate strange movies and strange things happening in films that aren't necessarily ever explained. Or if they are, the explanations only lead to more questions. Under the Silver Lake, although it's not a Lynch film, is heavily influenced, I feel, by Lynch, and really has just a plot line from a dream. It's almost is all I could really say. It's very dreamlike in its progression, and the film has to deal with a lot of symbols and symbology, and how symbols can have underlying meanings that we don't necessarily understand, but a certain population might, or people that devote their lives to the research of symbols may understand. It is just, I love this film. I watch this every couple of months just to kind of discover new things, and the acting is just another thing that is really impressive to me. Uh, it's just, it takes place in the Hollywood area specifically, and the main character, who's played by Andrew Garfield, is just so, he's so likable and so charismatic, yet there's something about him that makes you somewhat leery. There's certain things that occur that make you question him as a character, make you question the legitimacy of who he is and what may have happened before the film started in the character's existence. Under the Silver Lake, the glare there is, like I said, a phenomenal film. I saw this. I actually ordered this on Amazon, uh, not thinking that I'd ever see it in stores. I ordered the Blu-ray, and then lo and behold, I was in Target one day and I saw one copy sitting on the shelf, and I just looked at it like in amazement, like, oh my God, Under the Silver Lake is in Target of all places. Um, it just seemed very unreal, and for a moment, I thought to myself, "Am I living some kind of alternate experience?" Because the movie has so many different plot threads that all intertwine. And I don't want to give away any of its wonder. It is an adventure of the mind, of the spirit, of the dream, basically. Because that's what it feels like when you watch it. It's like watching someone's dream unfold. Every scene just is very unnatural, even if it's in the slightest detail, or the slightest little um, nuance. I just saw my one cat move out of the corner of the frame. It's things like that that you notice when watching these films. The little things. And sometimes bigger things too. So, something to keep in mind. Last on the list today is another film, and all three of these films are favorites of mine. I watch them often, and I always see something new and discover something unexpected. And this third film is no exception. This one got a little bit more notoriety, um, but not nearly enough, in my opinion. And that, of course, is Mandy, starring the unpredictably incredible Nicolas Cage. I think that Mandy is just a work of art, and it wouldn't have been so amazing if it hadn't had been for Cage's performance. You know, everyone else, the supporting cast, are wonderful, but I mean, the cover doesn't do it justice, but it really, it sets the scene for a really um, unique viewing experience. In this film, we have two completely separate dichotomies of being, basically. And there is a certain calm and tranquil feeling throughout the first half of the film. Some might call it a slow burn. I don't. I think it perfectly sets the stage for the shock and the utter horror that comes seemingly out of nowhere. And Cage is just the everyday guy in this movie. He's got an everyday girlfriend. But there's a certain dreamlike quality also to this film, which all three of these have in common. Um, Man, the dreamlike quality. Hello, cat. I see you. The dreamlike quality is really it's prevalent throughout. Cage's love interest in this film, Mandy, is a character that is almost like a an unreal portrait of a woman that we can't quite talk to, we can't quite see or touch in reality, yet she exists. That's the way she strikes me. Um, she's very much into these fantasy novels and these otherworldly landscapes, and her her character is just amazingly written, in my opinion, so that you just wonder so much and you care so much for her. And that connection will then translate through to the way you feel for Cage, and his character. Because he's playing a man who, I don't want to give things away. How can I phrase this? He's playing a man who witnesses things that no one should be made to witness. I'm being as vague as I can. I love this film. I love Nicolas Cage. I always have. From Valley Girl to Mandy to The Color Out of Space, which I will eventually cover as well. Um, but Mandy here is just. This film really. There we go. This film really. It made me look at life differently. And not a lot of films can do that. David Lynch's Dune had me change my entire perspective on life back in 1984 when I saw it. And I think since then, there have been a handful of films that have had that effect on me. Eyes Wide Shut by Stanley Kubrick. Um, it's really hard to think of films that are life changing. Yet some of these I just featured may be that way for you. If you have seen any of these films, or if you have films that are thought provoking for you, please list them in the comments below, or message them to me on Facebook if you so desire. If you like this video and you like my content, click the like button, click the bell icon, check out my Patreon, contact me on Facebook, whatever your little heart desires. I want to know. Would love to hear your suggestions for films that you'd like me to watch or cover, and if I have seen them, I will certainly cover them. If I have not, I will seek them out in some way, shape, or form and watch them and give you my thoughts as vaguely as I can, as not to spoil anything. Once again, this is Rob. Check out The Lighthouse, check out Under the Silver Lake, and Mandy. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.